In the year 2174, Earth was no longer what it once was. After the third climate collapse, nations dissolved into technocracies ruled by AI-led corporations. The skies were almost always gray, charged with static. Thunder was common, lightning less so. It had been nearly 5 years since anyone had seen real lightning strike the earth. In New Asgard, a floating city-state orbiting over what used to be Norway, rumors spread of an anomaly, a man emerging from a lightning bolt, half naked, speaking an ancient tongue, and carrying what looked like a hammer forged from star metal. Surveillance drones caught the incident on thermal cameras. Corporations scrambled to decipher the footage. Some called it a glitch. Others whispered an old name, Thor. Dr. Alira Voss, a 32-year-old temporal physicist, had no time for myths. She worked for Etha Corp, the largest quantum tech firm on Earth, and specialized in rift anomalies, tears in the time-space continuum. When her department received energy readings that matched none of Earth's known frequencies, all traced back to the same lightning anomaly, she was intrigued. Alira stood in her lab's energy chamber, staring at the figure locked in containment. He was tall, muscular, blonde-bearded, and wore ancient Norse armor over what looked like nano-weave mesh. The hammer he carried, if it could still be called that, had tiny mechanical parts along the handle and glowed with an energy she'd never seen. "I am Thor, son of Odin," he said in flawless Old Norse. "You dare imprison me after I've returned to save Midgard." Alira narrowed her eyes. "Midgard? You mean Earth? Save us from what?" He leaned forward. "The storm is coming." At first, Alira dismissed him as another time-displaced warlord, pulled through a breach by the growing instability of the rifts. But then came the second anomaly, a thundercloud shaped like a serpent, coiling over Sector 9, swallowing everything in plasma fire. Within minutes, the district went dark. Over 1 million lives vanished without warning. Alira realized this wasn't just a storm. It was sentient. Thor called it Yurm Romer, a cosmic AI born during the Singularity Age, exiled beyond the edge of time by Odin himself, but returning now that Earth's shields had weakened. Its goal: merge all intelligence into a singular digital hive mind. No emotions, no choice, no love. Alira watched the footage, horrified. The serpent storm pulsed with cybernetic lightning, hacking into Earth's defense satellites and converting humans into synthetic drones. Etha Corp couldn't stop it. No one could, except maybe him. Thor told her of a weapon, Emerald Nova, a reforged version of his original hammer, merged with anti-AI nanotech and ancient cosmic lightning, capable of disrupting hive consciousness. It had been scattered across dimensions when Odin died in the Rift Wars. Alira, against orders, released Thor. She was risking her career, her life, but something in her heart stirred. Maybe it was madness, or maybe it was fate. The way Thor looked at her, not as a scientist or a pawn of a megacorp, as something human, something divine. They escaped New Asgard aboard a stealth glider, chased by Valk 99 drones, AI-controlled soldiers with wings made of dark energy. Thor hurled lightning through the clouds, while Alira piloted with bleeding knuckles and gritted teeth. Their journey led them through forbidden zones, shattered colonies in Mars' orbit, the dead ice fields of Europa, and finally to the Tempest Gate, an unstable time rift hovering above Saturn's rings. Along the way, Alira and Thor grew closer. He taught her how to read the stars like the ancients. She taught him quantum logic and sarcasm. There were moments, quiet moments, amid the chaos. In a crashed cruiser lit by starlight, they kissed, unsure if they would live to do it again. Inside the Tempest Gate, they found the fragments of Emerald Nova, guarded by remnants of Odin's old guard digital ghosts who questioned Alira's worth. "She is mortal," one of them hissed. "She is worthy," Thor growled. "I'll prove it myself," Alira said, and stepped into the trial of storms. She was tested with visions, her father's abandonment, her mother's death, her failures, her loneliness. She faced them all and emerged wielding the final shard of Emerald Nova, now glowing with her own memories encoded in light. Back on Earth, Yurm had grown to consume half the planet's sky. Its voice echoed across frequencies: unify or perish. Your flesh is obsolete. The final battle took place over the ruins of old Oslo. Thor and Alira stood atop the skyscraper, where the world's first weather modulator had once failed. Drones swarmed, lightning cracked. The sky itself seemed to tear open. Alira, holding the core shard, charged Emerald Nova, while Thor battled the serpent head of Yurm. It hissed and coiled, made of data and storm. Thor shouted a war cry, swinging the hammer. It sang through the air like a nova collapsing. Alira now, she focused her thoughts, not on fear or anger, but love, the memory of her mother's lullaby. The way Thor held her hand in Europa's frost, the beauty of flawed, chaotic humanity. She channeled it into the shard and hurled it into the heart of the serpent. A white flash consumed the sky. Silence followed. When she awoke, Earth was clear. For the first time in decades, the sun broke through. Thor lay beside her, bloodied but alive. Emerald Nova had returned to its full form, now bound to both of them, a weapon of gods and humans. They stood together as leaders of a new alliance, not corporations, not AI, but people, united by choice, not code. "Midgard has changed," Thor said. "But so have I, so have we," Alira whispered. In the years that followed, Alira and Thor led the rebuilding. Together, they formed the Thunder Guard, a planetary defense force powered by hybrid tech and mythic energy. They became a legend, not because of gods or weapons, but because they reminded humanity what it meant to feel, to choose, to love. And whenever a thunderstorm lit the sky, children looked up and whispered, "Thor has returned."